Hello, bonjour, buenos dias, namaste, hajime mashite, ni hao, assalamu alaikum. Everybody out there in the internet, welcome to China Taken for May 2022. So, China Taken, if you don't know, is basically three things I go down. One, videos I'm working on for the channel. Two, changes to stuff on the channel. Three, IRL stuff. And then under videos I'm working on, there's subcategories: playthroughs and streams, vlogs, DIY do-it-yourself stuff, how-tos and other stuff I might be making for the channel. And the other two categories don't have subcategories because there are things that happened or didn't, with anecdotes and asides sprinkled in. Before I continue, I'm not sure if it's my camera, because I'm looking on the preview and it looks like weirder than usual. I tried to clean it like real quick before I did this, but I think I made it worse. Um, I didn't know like how bad the like smudging on it was, and then I like went to clean it, and then it was just like it's quite a thick layer of like gunk on it, and I need to like get it off next time. So hopefully by next month it'll be gone. But yeah, I didn't know how bad it was, and I was like, ooh, this is worse than I thought it was. So I'll come back to this some other time. Um, but yeah, as far as playthroughs and streams, okay, so right now I'm playing Star Ocean: The Last Hope. This is supposed to be the year of JRPGs, right? It's not that. It's not going to be that anymore. Okay, so it's like once I'm done with that game, I don't know what I'm playing. I do think I'm going to try to make it through the Saga games just because I'm enjoying those, but it's like this is the first time in a while when I've been playing something that I had the intention of playing through, and I'm like, I'm not really liking this game, or I'm not really feeling this game. So it's like, Star Ocean for me right now is like not really on the list of series I care about. It's kind of on the chopping block because I played one of the PSP versions. I don't remember have strong feelings either way about like liking it or not liking it. So I'm gonna guess it was probably pretty mediocre. Um, so that's like the only one I've. That was like the first one I played. I heard about, I believe, Star Ocean till the end of. Wait, what's the whatever the PS1 is called? Because I don't want to get the subtitle wrong. Star Ocean, whatever the PS1 version. Like people say that one's awesome, that one's amazing, whatever. There's one on the PS2 that came out, and I was like, oh, okay, well, it's the follow up to that series, so I'll go ahead and pick it up. I've yet to go back and play it though. Um, and then the PS4 version I played, Integrity and Faithlessness, I didn't really enjoy it. The final boss was really infuriating. Or just like overall, it's just not. Yeah, just like there's like it just doesn't hit like a high bar of like anything really, like gameplay, presentation, story, characters. Like it's not really, just it feels very like average or like mediocre. So I was like, that was like the first. That was like the second one I played, I believe. And then I'm playing Lost Hope now. Not really feeling it, not really liking it. And I think I'm done with the series after this because I was like, this is kind of just not. Yeah, it's like there's no high points really. It's just like super, just like flat and mediocre and average, and like nothing really cuts through at really any point. So I think I'm done with Star Ocean after this. And there's like a new one coming out, but I don't care. So I'll just like wait for the reviews on that one and any future versions because it's just not feeling very strongly about like, oh, this is such an awesome game. So pass on that one. I mean, that being said, as far as JRPGs go, I'm more traditionalist as far as I prefer turn based, and this is like an action based or action RPG, but just doesn't it's not pulling me in because there are some action RPGs I enjoy, but I prefer the turn based style. Um, even though it's weird because like Western RPGs are mostly they're more actiony or active. They're not as turn based, and I do enjoy those as well. But that's whole other can of worms. But yeah, Star Ocean, thumbs down right now for me. So yeah, um, I think Gran Turismo 7. There's a patch that came out. I mean, okay, no, I said I wouldn't talk about this game anymore, but just like I did put up something of it on the channel. So when they I guess when they as they had menu stuff maybe, but no, I don't know, dude. I feel like I'm like wasting a lot of time with that game. I could be playing other stuff, but like for some reason it's just been like something I've been going to this like whole like this year since it's like this span of time when I've been like going through a bunch of crap. I could just like go through and play it, and then effing yeah, just it's like I don't have to worry about streaming it. I just play it and like whatever. I plan on getting back into Final Fantasy 14, but that's like in a couple months maybe. We'll see. Um, But yeah, it's like I'll get back into that eventually. But it's like as I make progress through that and stuff like and do stuff that's like I haven't done yet on the game, I can put it on the channel. I mean, that being said, I'm considering making another character that looks like 2B. And can have the 2B character with the costume, and then I'm considering like playing that stuff again, like in the MSQ as far as that goes, and then just like re-uploading it, but or just like I don't know, or just like the story stuff. But there's so much in that game, so it's like I don't know, man. Um, Playthroughs and streams, yeah, nothing's really. I mean, okay, so here's okay, we're like on the cusp of what would have been E3 season. So we have the state of play is coming up. Then there's that Microsoft showcase and the Summer Game Fest, and so we'll have new games to look forward to. This year is looking pretty slim pickings, especially after that Bethesda delay. Or Starfield for sure got or they're not developing Redfall. I think that was Arcane. I don't know who's developing it, but like that was another Microsoft Game Studios or just like Xbox exclusive gone, like not this year, and then Starfield not this year. So I had I had already like my Game Pass already ran out like a couple months ago. I just needed to get me to Horizon, right? So then I got Horizon, got Gran Turismo, but then we have no real big AAA first party stuff anyway this year. Is there any third party stuff this year? I mean, there's Gotham Knights. I'm looking forward to it, but it's priced at $69.99, so it's $70 for the standard version. So I'm probably not gonna pick it up. I mean, I might because I've got a job now, so I have income and I have money, so I might like go the tier above that. That's like the deluxe edition or whatever. But it's annoying because it's like I think I talked about this last time, but there's like a deluxe, or I've talked about it on like one of the podcasts where it's like there's a deluxe edition or digital deluxe edition, but then like there's a collector's edition that's like a physical copy that's got like a statue and it comes with like more costumes in the game, and I'm like, well, is there a way to get that stuff digitally, or there's no like digital tier that gets you that stuff too? But it's like at the end of the day though, it's like that's really all you're getting when you pay for like the extra version because you're not getting anything really. There's no season pass included, I believe, or I would have been like, that's a red flag. And there's like just emote stuff, which is also like a halfway red flag. 'Cause it seems to be very well, it's weird because like they said it's an action RPG, but they haven't like prominently made that front and center like this is an action RPG. I feel like they're messing up the messaging right now with that game because when it first got showed and they showed that thing with the Mr. Freeze or whatever when we first saw the gameplay, and it looked very, or you could tell that it wasn't the same free flow combat system, right? They should have like put that like out in front as opposed to not doing that, and then now people are complaining about the combat and like, oh, it doesn't look as good as Arkham Knight or like the previous Arkham games. Like, why does it look so sluggish and not as fast? And it's like, well, if you could tell from the first time they showed the game, it was clearly not that. Like, I'm fine because it's like I realized that when I saw it the first time, I was like, oh, this is not the same. But then they're like, they're also saying it's not co-op. So it's like, okay, well, it's not co-op and it's not free flow combat, so it's clearly not going to play the same as the previous Arkham games. But I guess people just haven't realized that, so whatever. And then, I don't know. I thought it looked fine, from the stuff that they showed. It looks very in the vein of like if it was like a 3D version of the 2D beat 'em ups like Streets of Rage and stuff like that, or Final Fight. Because like the enemies take more damage, but then like I said, it's an action RPG, so I imagine that. I mean, I hope it's not a bunch of bullet sponges or just enemies that just soak up damage and take forever to kill. I guess we'll see. Or I guess it's gonna be like whatever because it's like a gear. It's like since it's an RPG, it's gonna be gear system anyway. So as you're getting better gear and better equipment, you'll be doing more damage, and different enemies probably have like different weaknesses, different elements. Because they had the whole Nightwing had like the ice attack thing that was weird and silly, but whatever, man. I just want another Arkham game, so it's like I'm good. So hopefully it's good because yeah, like not a lot of stuff on the horizon as far as new game releases. I mean, well, that's the thing, right? Is like there's a bunch of new stuff coming out, but then there's so much stuff that doesn't have a release date or release window. Because we got Forspoken. I'm not buying that game, but I'm saying Forspoken because that's obviously going to come out before 16 comes out. So it's like Square Enix is already like pumping up the marketing on that one. So it's like we're not going to probably see 16 until that one's out this year. So 16 is obviously not this year. It's probably at the earliest next year. And then, but then they showed at the last day to play there was the Valkyrie game, Valkyrie profile or Valkyrie whatever, another Star Ocean game. Like I mentioned that earlier. And then we still don't have like we Stray was like got a release window of the summer a while ago, and it's like okay, well it's effing June tomorrow, so when's that coming out? uh, I'm still looking forward to Little Devil Inside. Those are two on my. Let me pull up my list real quick to see if I have anything besides those. I don't think I do because I hadn't even updated my list in such a long time. Yeah, man. Stray, Little Devil Inside, and everything else is wow. Everything else is out. I don't know if you can see this. Let me see if my camera focuses. But yeah, launch game. Miles Morales. That was great. DMC5 Special Edition. I didn't get that at launch. I got it when it was like half off because I was like, dude, I already have this on PS4. Godfall was not that. I was waiting for reviews and it was a pass on that one. And then we've got Stray, which I said is 2022. Kina played it. It was decent. It was pretty good. Solar Ash. I have not finished it, but I picked it up and I've played a bit of it. Hitman 3 is pretty good. Hitman 3 is pretty good. Pretty good. I didn't like the whole fact it had like extra DLC like after it was released. They never said anything about it, and that kind of made me very lukewarm after the fact. That's why I didn't put it in my top games of last year or whatever effing year it came out. Little Devil Inside, like I said, it's supposed to be this year, but no date, no month. Forbidden West was awesome. Pathless, I picked that up on sale. I haven't played it. Sifu's good. If you can get over the hump. I mean, they added. I haven't played it since the difficulty patch, so I'm not sure like how it is now with like the easier difficulty. And then Gran Turismo 7. So I'm pretty much just waiting for Stray and Little Devil Inside. So and nothing has been added to this. But yeah, I'm guessing after State of Play, hopefully. Well, I don't know, dude. Because that's the thing is like without E3, right? And then Sony left E3, and then they do State of Plays now, and they're super sporadic and like not consistent. So it's like it's kind of just like the Nintendo Directs. It's just like you get them when you get them, and it's like okay, you have an idea of like what's coming out the next however long, which I will say I prefer it that way because you always have like you know an idea of what's coming out in the calendar year. So it's not something that's like super far off, like the Knights of the Old Republic remake. No idea when that's coming out. Like that just got like a sizzle teaser, and it's like, oh, be excited, but it's like no real effing like specific details on when this game is coming out. So yeah, like it works on like the both, like you've got like the stuff that's like coming out in the short term, but then there's always like the stuff in the long term to be excited about or looking forward to, like Spider-Man 2 or Wolverine, and then we've got God of War Ragnarok this year. Most likely because it hasn't been confirmed yet, but pretty sure it's probably coming out this year. So I guess there's right. Yeah, I guess God of War. But that's like not until who knows when. It's like at the earliest September, if that. So, but that's yeah. It's like 2022 is kind of it's weird because it just feels like there's not a lot coming out. It's like okay, just please be excited for next year because that's man. Because yeah, like from like what I was thinking, it felt like after COVID, it seemed like I can't remember it was 2020 or 20 what they launched in 2020, right? And so 2021 it was like the second year, but then like because of COVID, it's like clearly stuff's gonna be like even further off. So it's like at the earliest, floodgates will open at 2022, and then it's 2022 now. I mean we have okay, Forbidden West is like my game of the year right now, so it's like I'm not gonna complain about Forbidden West, but it's like that's only one game, so it's like that's an awesome game, but it's only one game, so it's like okay, yeah, there's good stuff coming out for current gen. There's just not a lot of it yet, so the floodgates haven't opened. We don't have bangers all the time, so I'm hoping 2023 is just gonna be like a like a great year, and then for games, and then Unreal Engine 5, so that's out this year. So then 2 years at the earliest, I would say, for people to like get dev time on that, and then like get something out to 2024, 2025. So next 3 years are probably gonna be pretty good as far as like and then like the bigger AAA like games that are like the better production values and stuff. That stuff takes like 5 years minimum for like the nines and tens. Nine that's like yeah 5 year minimum, and then like smaller developers and publishers 2 to 3 years for their stuff. So I'm I'm pretty confident the next long while is gonna be pretty good for game releases. I mean game releases specifically. Everything else is like going to crap. But we'll get to that in the IRL section. I just got on my phone a severe weather alert. Let's see, there's apparently a flash flood warning. So until 3:45 a.m. I can hear rain outside. There's a bit of thundering, but it didn't seem like it was coming down that hard. So I guess whatever. Um, do not attempt to travel unless you are fleeing an area subject to flooding or under an evacuation order. Thank you for that phone. Okay. So we got videos I'm working on. So yeah. Oh, still working on the whole moving out thing. Things are getting what's the word? I can't even think of the word. There's a word for that. Tense. I was I was like, oh crap, I'm about to get. Anyway, I'm not gonna talk about it, but like basically, yeah, I'm I'm on the verge getting the F out of here. I'll get to that in the IRL section, but because of that, it's like basically I'm just playing Star Ocean when I have time. Not a lot going on, and then like I said last time, not a lot of I guess that's for the next section in the vlogs. But as far as what I'm playing through and streaming, Star Ocean is pretty much it. I've been playing a lot of Gwent lately. I do want to play. I don't know. For some reason, I've been like thinking about The Witcher a lot and like wanting to play. I think it's because of that Witcher 4 announcement. So I'll probably like play that at some point. But since I've already put it on the channel, there's no reason to like re-upload the whole playthrough. And I was checking it today because Witchbreaker, the card thing with the Queen, that game's on sale on PlayStation and Xbox. But I have it on. I don't know if I have it on Steam. I have it on GOG. I played it, but it's like my computer right now is my laptop because my computer's like, well, my computer's in storage. So I have my laptop, so I can't actually play anything on my PC. So it's like I kind of buy it again just so I can play it on console. And then it made me have like the whole epiphany of like why should, like, well, I guess it's not an epiphany because I already like don't buy a lot of stuff on Steam anymore because I don't have a gaming PC. So it's like don't really need to worry about that because I don't mainly play games on my PC. So yeah, and mine's currently not even around. But Witcher 2, I got that on 360. Like some sale this year is like $3. Picked it up. I mean, I already played it on PC, but I was having issues with my what was I using to stream? The Nvidia GeForce thingy thing. Capture. There's a word for it. Game capture. Oh, Shadowplay. Shadowplay. Yes, my GeForce Shadow or my Nvidia Shadowplay on my PC. When I was streaming that, I was having issues, so I didn't get the whole thing. I don't even know if I got part of it, but I played through the first two. So since I can play the second one on 360, and I can play it on my Xbox Series S, and I can stream it while I play, I'll probably try to play through that and then stream it and then get that one up there because I've already got Witcher 3 on the channel. So and then I'd like to eventually go back to the first game and get that on there too. But that's gonna have to wait until I buy a proper gaming PC. But that could actually happen because I'm saving it. Yeah, it's like I've like all my good habits that I had before I before I quit my job and didn't have to worry about that. I was like just saving everything and not spending it all on everything is still intact. So I'm actually, but then there's the whole supply chain thing as far as like the whole GPU shortage still going on. So it's like what's even the point? Like why even bother? It's like I'm sure it's whatever. Anyway, playthrough and streams. But yeah, Star Ocean. Then after that, maybe the Saga games, maybe some other stuff. Because I've got like a whole list of like short games, and I'll probably jump into that and just like to knock out some games from my. But yeah, games from my backlog and just shorter games and like non-JRPGs or non-RPGs because those take like so long to play. So once I'm through Star Ocean, see, I was really man, I really regret getting bogged down on Star Ocean because after I finished what I was playing before then, I was like, dude, I'm gonna jump into my backlog and just like play through so many games, but it's not happening. Ugh, not happening. I think next year I'll go back to the Yakuza stuff because I want to finish Yakuza and then play through like a play through Like a Dragon eventually. As far as Mass Effect stuff, let me check my thing actually. Cause I did say at 2,000 subscribers I do the Renegade playthrough on. I did say I do. Oh my gosh, that's the wrong app. My bad. But yeah, I did say, man, my brain, dude. I'm just like, I did say. Jeez, get it out, Chris. I did say at 2,000 subscribers I would do the whole Renegade, Renegade Mass Effect so stream playthrough on the channel. 1945, 50 more, and we'll be there. I was thinking of formally also leaving Twitch streaming, but I don't know, man. It's like I'm still thinking about that too, just because they had that thing about the whole revenue share. I mean, it's whatever. Like, I'm still like not up of that. Like, I'm still like not to that tier of like being able to like monetize that yet. So it's like, on the one hand, it's like, dude, just stop, because it's like you got YouTube, just use YouTube. But then it's like, dude, but if like you get the Twitch thing going, it's like, oh man. But then it's like I keep hearing stuff about it's not that great, so, or it's not as great as it sounds on paper. Um, but yeah, I guess that's PlayStation streams. I don't know. Just I don't even have like my notes. Like they're still like the old stuff from like however long ago. It's just I'm going down like the whole uh, outline of segments. Oh man, vlogs. Nothing planned for that. Nothing happening there. I mean, I do kind of want to do like a weekly thing, but that's like a yeah. I keep talking about this, but it's like it's in my brain. It's like brainstorming phase, so it's not like it's not a perfect concept or like beyond the whole idea phase yet. So eventually, maybe how to DIY and other stuff. Nothing going on there. I mean, I do need to fix some of my consoles, but I'm probably just gonna like take them to get fixed because my PS2 is broke. My backwards compatible PS3 is broke. Luckily, my super slim digital PS3 is not broke, so I can still jump on the store and get stuff. Oh, and I cannot wait for the well, hopefully the emulation's not terrible because the Digital Foundry video that came out. Hopefully in the US they're gonna use NTSC version of the games. But like when the PlayStation Classic stuff. Oh, dude, I'm sorry. I just remembered. This should actually be in like the PlayStation streams. But like when they do start putting the PlayStation Classic stuff, like the PS1 classics, on the PSN store for PS5, I will probably be playing through a bunch of classic stuff. So if they ever put up like if they ever put up like any of my favorite stuff from like back in the day, like Final Fantasy Tactics Line War, if that the PSP version or the PS1 version, doesn't matter, I'll play through it. Like I know it's already on their channel, I don't effing care. It's like I love that game. I'll play through that. Metal Gear Solid 1. I'm Jeremy Lammy. What else? Like some I can't even think of anything. Need for Speed. Putting the old Need for Speeds. Well, specifically high stakes. Like any of the other ones, it's like I don't know. Well, I guess here's the thing, right? Is like I was always a Nintendo. Like I was like a Nintendo fan. Well, it's that's like the wrong terminology. I was a Nintendo kid until like PlayStation 1, and then like Final Fantasy 7 just like blew my mind and just like changed the game. Cause I'd not really been into like JRPGs or stuff like that. So I was like, yeah, it's like the the game like mismatch on 64 versus PlayStation is like it was like, dude, it was like it was over. Like I didn't do 64, and there's like so many games on the PlayStation that like were awesome at the time, and I never got to play them until I got a PS2 because it was backwards compatible, and I missed out on like a whole generation of games. And just I mean I've been playing them over time, like going back, but it's like, dude, like that's an era where I definitely was like on the wrong team. um but yeah, man, any of that stuff, Vandal Hearts 2, Front Mission. So many awesome games. There's so But yeah, from like the initial offerings, it's very not great. Like it's not. I mean, Wild Arms is like the one JRPG I believe on the PS1, and like the PS2 is just remasters that are like on the PS4, and it's like, come on, it's like, in my opinion, my personal opinion as a person and a gamer, like PS2 is like the best console ever. Like that library, bar like second to none, just god tier, bangers all the way. And then especially if you like count in all like the PS1 games because it's backwards compatible, it's like, dude, PS2 is like the god king. It's just like has not been topped since, in my opinion. Like PS3 was like, ugh, like in hindsight, it's like definitely PS3 is like, no. PS4 is pretty good. PS4 is like really close. It's like really close, not quite there. And it's just like PS5 is like has the potential, right? It's got the potential. Can it achieve it? But I feel like we're in like different eras though, because like PS2, the reason there were so many games is like development costs were low. It was easy to develop for. You don't have that anymore. Like these games are so expensive. They take like 5 years for like a AAA like you know top the top. Like the time between Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon Forbidden West like that. You know, and then you gotta like crunch these out and like crank it out and like the human cost involved. It's just like it's a whole different. I guess it's not different. Like there's probably like crunch back in the day, but it's just like it's more or it's more like of a known quantity now of like knowing what developers have to go through to get the games to market. So it's just like back then I didn't even know what crunch was. Now I'm like, ooh, somewhere out there they're just like cranking away on like all the different aspects of these games, and you've got games of service like Destiny, where it's like that stuff has to stay evergreen. It has to be they have to continually pump out new content for people to play all the time because it's a like 24/7 live service. Insane like that, like yeah, like that, all the free to play stuff like Fortnite, and like just it's like, yeah, it's just, I mean, it's neat to like think about it in like an evolutionary. I keep going the wrong direction here with my finger. I'm sorry. This is confusing me on the screen. Okay, so it's like just like it's going like it goes like this way, as far as like the progress, as far as like graphics and camera and yada yada yada, all the technical stuff as far as like the graphic fidelity and like online connectivity. There's like all that cool stuff. I referenced Final Fantasy 14 earlier. Like so stuff. I mean, Final Fantasy 11 was on PS2, but it just it's just like it's such a like exponential leap in technology, like light years. Because look at Final Fantasy 11, look at Final Fantasy 14, as a comparison, or look at like Final Fantasy 10 because that was PS2, and like compare that to like what 15 or 16. Whenever 16 comes out, it's just gonna be like, dude, look how the Gulf. I mean, it's still a good game. I'm just saying, like, if you look at like the quality of the graphics and everything, as far as like the facial models and character models, just like seeing the pores on the skin and all the like ridiculousness of like when it's super zoomed in. That's just like one aspect, like I was saying. So you still got like that, but the developer output definitely lower because PS2 we had, man, there's so many games. You had like multiple entries from like mainline series, and like now you're lucky to get one a console generation, right? So you had 10, 12, and 14, 13, and the Lightning trilogy era is on PS3. PS4 you had 15. So yeah, there's only like one PS4. Well, not counting 14 because it's online game, but there's two different games, so it's like whatever. So there's not, so it's like not this like yeah, it's not like the flagship dev team on like the non MMO ones. So Tekken 4, Tekken 5, Tekken Tag. Wait, no, Tekken Tag. Is that yeah, Tekken Tag 2 is PS3. So PS2 is Tekken 5, 4 and 5. Yeah. So Tekken 7 is out now. They're probably not gonna get another one for a while. Street Fighter. Oh man, Street Fighter is a whole other can of worms, so I'm not gonna get into that. But yeah, I'm sorry. I'm totally like on an aside. I'm like looking at my phone. I'm like, what segment I'm on? I'm just talking about video games and like development costs and development time, and how it's just like PS2 is the best because they pumped out so many games. All and like it wasn't even just like about the games, right? It's like the variety of the games. Like you had, I mean, I would say like back in the day there weren't as many what are those games called? Visual novels. I had to think about it. It's like there weren't as many visual novels, but it's like besides that genre, like yeah, there weren't like a lot of. I guess that's like the only like drawback, right? It's like if you go back in time, it's like the genres that were popular then, like they like some of them are still popular, but then like either they weren't as good or refined, or like the genres that are popular now, they didn't really exist back then, so there's not as many games from that type of genre. Like there's not a lot of roguelikes, there's not a lot of Souls likes. That's before Demon Souls. Not a lot of visual novels, like I said, or well, there's probably dating sims like in Japan, but like not here. But there's like a lot of like cool like rhythm games, music games, just like weird zany. And that's the other thing, right? Is like because the cost of like development was like so low, they could just like be more experimental. Like now it's like gotta recoup the cost, dude, and it's like bunch of yeah. It's yeah, it's a whole thing. It's just like it's like this whole like wave of consolidation. I would say since like the PS3 360 era of like publishers and developers that like tried to either I wouldn't say do something like no, it wasn't always the case of like a new IP or doing something different. It's just like if you were like going beyond your budget means and like your game didn't perform, then your studio probably didn't stay around for very long, or like you as a publisher because like there's like so many publishers like that like aren't around anymore, like Midway, THQ, Acclaim. Actually, THQ is that one group or got bought by that one group that's got like a bunch of different developers under them. But yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this, but just like it was just a different era, and PS2 is awesome, and I'm looking forward to all those games coming back. Hopefully, because man, if you look on eBay, some of those prices are like, why would like what? Why would I pay what? Like, are you out of your effing mind? Like, no way, dude, not worth it. It's just like, yeah, it's like once they get to that threshold of like it's like the cost is like more than it's worth or like more than I'm willing to pay. It's like, well, I guess I'm just gonna hold out for a remake or a remaster because at this point I'll never play that game. Um, so yeah. Actually, before I move on, one more thing before because I'm just like talking about nostalgia in games, like old games now. I'm sorry, I just went on like a whole tangent. I did see for the Switch on Knights of the Republic 2 that they're going to release that, or it said something about like releasing the I don't know, the DLC was something about like the finished, not the finished game, but like the cut content, and like that game is man, Knights of the Republic 2 is like okay. I don't want to go on like a whole another like thing, but like Knights of the Republic 2 is like amazing, and like Obsidian that was like I played that and I was like, dude, Obsidian is like secretly like if not like even with Bioware like the A team compared to Bioware because like back in the day they were like not as they didn't get as much prestige or not prestige but like I would say like they didn't have like the better reputation of like being better than Bioware, but I think over time if you compare their output it's really close. You could go either way, but it's like I think secretly Obsidian actually better because like dude play that. And then I haven't played New Vegas, but like so many people gush about New Vegas and it's like dude come on, like it's like I'm it's like I mean not only are they better than like Bioware, they're probably better than Bethesda. It's like more people like gush about New Vegas than like the flipping mainline Fallout. Well, I mean the ones that Bethesda made because the ones before that were Interplay or whoever had the rights before. But I'm trying to think because I'm trolling back off and like what was I talking about? Okay, let's get back on to Chatting with Taken for the month because I'm just good. I'm just like talking about games now. It's like completely off the rails. All right, so changes to stuff on the channel. Nothing, nothing new happening on the channel. Yeah, I'm just gonna try to keep making these every month as far as the Chatting with Tekens go. Keep those on time. And I think last time I said it, but like all the D&D adventures are in the can for a while. So, but then it sucks because I got this job and it completely like ruined the schedule. And now we haven't been able. Well, I haven't been able to attend a session for our tabletop group because that's one of the days I work now. So, but I am planning on fixing. Well, I'm planning on fixing it eventually. Not anytime. I'm not gonna say anytime soon, but it's like hopefully soon-ish. Well, I'm working on it. I'll just say that I'm working on it. Whew, IRL stuff. So yeah, last time I was all like, man, what's up with the GOP and them all trying to take away abortion rights in every statewide legislature? And the Supreme Court's like, hey, check out this sweet memo that we got about completely taking like yeah just completely doing away with Roe v. Wade. It's like oh no, oh but who's all coming this whole time? That's right, if you're watching China Taken, you're already in the know. So there's that. There's the whole like there's still the whole trans rights thing as far as like yeah it's like how's that more of a apparently like more of a what's the word more of a focus for the GOP than like any other type of problem going on. Even though there's like mass shootings all the time. I was gonna make a joke about that. But I was like, let's not. But it's like, yeah. It's like just another crappy week in this country. When it's like, man, I wish I wasn't stuck here. If I could just get a work visa to like Canada or New Zealand or any Scandinavian country or democratic socialist country in Europe. I said New Zealand already, didn't I? Or Singapore. Singapore seemed fine. Singapore made the list. I had once upon a time when I was like really considering this, I had like a list in my brain, and I can't even like remember what it was. It was just like I just remember like New Zealand and Canada were for sure on there. I would say Singapore is like I'll add it now in like retrospect. It wasn't on there initially, but it was actually. Those are like three of the five. I didn't have like a top five, but now like I would say, but then it's like in my brain like because like Denmark and Finland have been like in the news. It's just like I'm like, but then like Denmark and Finland were on the top five, and it's just like I anyway. It's like yeah, it's a whole other or rather another of the you know like I said last time, nihilism, fatalism come together, and it's like, doesn't it all suck all the time? Isn't it terrible? Isn't it great that it's like nothing positive can ever be like, oh man, it's so great to be alive in the current age of awesome. Nope. It's like, it's like, oh man, these gas prices suck. Oh man, inflation and and the supply chain caused prices on everything to go through the roof. Woo! And then it's like, yeah, I don't think it's gonna. I think it's gonna be a very I don't want to say the word explosive, but I'm gonna say the word explosive summer of just like things going out of control as far as like crime and bad things happening. Because when the temperature's hot, humans usually get a bit aggro-y and stress levels go up, and it's a whole. I mean, but then it's like they're also like driven inside, like so they're like it's kind of like happens in the summer and the winter too, where it's like people are like inside, so they're like around each other more. But then sometimes that also makes stress levels go up. So it's like, oh, I don't see it going well. So that's my spiel. Dude, I don't even remember. Yeah, this is like yet again another like IRL. I don't remember what this is about. This whole segment. Oh, but I do want to point out though, I did finally realize that with the lights in this room, if I just face my laptop a different direction, I don't have to worry about it. It makes it way easier to do these. And I'm just like, dude, I can't believe it took me however long it took me to figure that out. Oh yeah, makes me feel real stupid. Um, but yeah, let me keep going on IRL just because it's like I don't know. I don't have anything in my brain and I don't have anything written down, so I'm just gonna like think Joe Biden, Joe Biden, Joe Biden. But it's like I can't believe he's all like, oh man, the Republicans are totally gonna like come together and work bipartisanly in a bipartisan way to pass gun legislation. It's like, dude, are you effing deluded? Like, did they do it for BBB? Did they do it for infrastructure? Did they do it for like any other like really transformative policy and legislation that you had planned or wanted? No. So why are they gonna do it now? It's like, what the f is wrong with you? Like, are you effing mine? Like, deluded, dude. That's all I'm gonna say is like effing Joe Biden, man. Let's see what else besides that. The whole gun thing. Because that's not gonna. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Show of hands. People that think nothing is going to happen or change or get better in that regard. Oh yeah. I had my right hand up, but it was off camera. So it's like, yeah, I don't see anything getting better. Sorry. Like I said, nihilism, fatalism. I'm all aboard the Doomer train, the USS Doomer Black Pill, whatever I'm gonna call it, where nothing gets better and everything sucks all the time. This is a recurring theme. I know I talk about this all the time. It's like now I'm back, but now I'm in IRL section of this. And I'm at 40 minutes. I could probably go for like 20 more, and like make it an hour. But like, I'm trying to think of like anything else. Let's talk, let's see Russia. Let's see it. That's another can of worms, wasn't it? Wasn't it great when speaking of bipartisanship, it's like, oh man, we let's oh, I think I did talk about this last time actually, because I was like, dude, what the f, like Was it 40 billion? I don't remember. I don't even remember. But it's like by the end of the year, it's like I completely expect the like amount of money and funds that were spent on Ukraine to like be more than like any like than at least like one, which I think it already is actually, but like be more than the cost of at least like one of like Biden's like policies that was not that was an actual domestic policy that would have been really helpful or useful or nice to have, like climate change or police reform or universal pre-K, paid paid parental leave, all these things we don't have that'd be like, oh man, wouldn't that be great? Oh, speaking of, I'm sorry, my brain is like, it's like the boomerang effect of like all the like negative things I try to like keep out of my brain, and now it's like slowly encroaching as I'm like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. But speaking of, like, 'cause I did mention the whole like, well, yeah, the gun thing, but like, it's like, here's a scenario in the future if the Roe v. Wade thing happens, where it's like, you can't get an abortion, but then it's like you're forced to like carry your child to term, right? And then it's like, okay, well, healthcare is trash in this country, so it's like there's no mental health, so it's like it's like you have a kid, and then it's like you're like in poverty, and you're having trouble like you know raising the child or whatever, and it's like there's like no social services or like social safety net at all, and it's like the external stresses of the situation just like make things worse, and so it's like the kid has like emotional problems or like mental health issues, but hey, they have no problem like walking into a gun store and like buying a any type of like gun, weapon, whatever type, because like it matters, right? And then just like however much ammunition, because hey, as long as you're, well, I guess that's the thing, right? Because I mean, I guess it's very dependent on like where you live, because it's like 50 different states, 50 different types of laws, but even like then it's like state level, county level, city level, different ordinances. So it's possible, like, the, the scenario is not like 100%, but it's like, because I'm sure somewhere there's like, it's not going to get through the cracks. But, it's like, it's too, plausible that, like, that it will. It's like, and then like they go buy some weapon and shoot up some place, and it's like, oh, well, I mean, that's kind of like a weird scenario, because it's like, well, Chris, in that scenario, you're kind of like, being a proponent for abortion. I'm just saying, it's like, well, one less mass shooter. So there you go. I didn't think that went all the way through, and I was like, oh, I guess in this scenario, I'm kind of advocating for that. But it's like, well, it's like, wow, I'm like laughing at it. Like, I'm sorry if I'm offending anybody, but it's like, would you rather have like one person not exist ever, or like have them exist and then like kill 10 to 20 people or however many? There you go. So it's like, yeah, well, negate one from existence, save XYZ however many. So yeah, yeah. Um, I don't want that to be the point when I end on. Let's see what else is going on. I haven't watched my I mean, I did watch the news today, but I didn't watch like my Majority Report stuff, so I haven't watched that yet today. And some other stuff. There's some other stuff I gotta catch up from over the weekend. Yeah, it kind of sucks now having a job, because it's like there's all these like videos on YouTube I watch, and then it's like now that I've got like a job going on, it's kind of like trying to like figuring out how to like have a window in time to like watch it all. Cause it sucks, because it's like, oh, it's too much. Um, well, there was, oh, I don't remember. There was a country in was it the I'm gonna get it wrong. I'm gonna butcher it, but it's like there was like some country that did declare a climate emergency. I'd have to watch it, or not watch it, but look it up. And I don't want to butcher it or get it wrong. So that was the thing. I already talked about Russia, didn't I? Yeah, I did. So I mean, besides the whole like effing spending thing, and like the whole fact that like apparently Ukraine has like a bunch of like wheat that they supply to the entire world, and it's just like not happening as far as that getting harvested and like spread out. It's like gonna cause like a ton of it's such a effing mess. It's just like, yeah, it's gonna cause like a bunch of like hunger, and then just like suffering, and just like for what, just so like Putin can have like more, a bigger, like one more, yeah, like one little sphere, or not sphere, but like, one boundary of land on the globe to like have dominion over. It's like, dude, come on, like, yeah. All right, let's just end it there because we're 45 minutes in. I think I'll just yeah, I could go for 60, but it's like at this point, it's like that's. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else? I'm pretty sure there's like probably some other gaming stuff that happened besides the Redfall delay and the PS Plus like terrible first wave. I mean, back to the PS Plus thing though. Like they had that whole like initial article, right? And it said 700 games, and then they said this is a preview or whatever. But then like when it's once it's like actually rolled out in like one territory, which is like the Asia territory. I mean, it come well. I mean, we'll be seeing soon. Eventually, it's like a couple weeks. But I'm cautiously optimistic just because I just like I'm so over it, man. Like Jim Ryan, it's just it like yeah. I don't get good vibes of him, and since he's like the head of SC Sony Computer Entertainment, whatever, right now, and the stuff he said in the past about retro games and how they're just like trash and just I'm not in a good headspace about that. So yeah. Um so yeah, hoping for some sweet, awesome game announcements from the State of Play and then the Xbox showcase, and then I'm sure that I don't have high expectations for Nintendo, so I'm already like just waiting for like the next version of the Switch because I'm just like, dude, like I was disappointed in the Switch. Oh, I wasn't disappointed. It's just like I I okay. To say it was disappointment is like the wrong word or phrasing, but it's like I'm at peace with Nintendo, but it's like it's like where I'm at with them is like a love hate thing. It's like I it I it's like yeah, it's like I like their games, but I don't like all their games. But then it's like of the ones I do like, it's just like I don't like them enough to like keep buying their hardware. I guess is what I'm trying to say because it it's like yeah, it's like all their stuff is not. It's not. I guess yeah. It's like I guess I'm no longer their target demographic, and like when I play their stuff because I've like had such better experiences with everything else I've played, and I go back to them. It's like I play that stuff, and I'm just like, yeah, this is fun, but like outside of the gameplay, there's like story and character development and conflict. There's like these things are missing from their products. It's like all I feel when I play those games is like, yeah, I'm having fun and it's a fun time, but it's like there's nothing here that like challenges me as a person to like think critically or just like there's no like fundamental conflicts in the games themselves of like side X versus side Y, or like these two factions interacting, or just like nothing that like goes beyond like the basic level of like stuff I've played. I mean, and that's the other thing is like yeah, they have games on there now from like third party stuff, but it's like it's the like so it's like it's cool that like I'm glad for people that can that can play those games there, but they're like not getting the best versions of those games. Like Witcher 3 is on Switch, but it's like it's not the most, or it's not I mean, it's fine. It's fine. It's whatever. I'm not gonna complain about the graphics of it, but it's like but it is a fact that it's like it's not 1-to-1 of like playing it on better hardware. So I guess it's better than nothing. But hey, whatever. We all win 'cause we get to play awesome games. So, but then it's like you play that, and it's like, why would you play? Whatever. That's just me. That's just me. That's where I'm at with Nintendo. Just yeah, we're done. All right. I'm almost at an hour, but I'm just gonna stop it here because I'm rambling now. I'm just rambling on. Let me check my phone notifications, see if anything sparks a brain thingy. Nope. Okay. Cool. Um. All right. That was a very long rambling. Uh. Just all over the place chatting with Tegan. It happens sometimes. This is one of those times. And if I did a weekly podcast thingy. Well, I guess I do like a semi-weekly podcast. But that's with Buff, and it's like it's not the same. It's not the same as like the aimless time, where it's like here's a segment, this is the topic, this is what we're talking about. I need to get back to that. Like maybe that should be like one of my goals for the year. But then it's like it's halfway over. I have been thinking about this a lot though. It's like this isn't like the first time I thought about this. And like it's in my brain. It's like I don't know. It's like I kind of want to just like I think maybe possibly next year. It's like next year do that and then also like take a break from the channel and just like try to get like all this stuff. But it's like I can never take a break, so it's like I don't know whatever. It's like maybe I should just like make another document in my phone and like just get all my thoughts, get all typed down on the phone because I because it's way easier to do that now. Anywho, that is it for chatting with Tegan. I'm trying to think. There's something else I wanted to say. It's like I don't know. No, I don't think that. I think that's it. Is that it? Whatever. Whatever. That's it for chatting with Tegan. Until next time. So yeah, all the links in this, as usual, be in the bottom of the thing. I think my link for Discord's like not right, and I don't even know how to use Discord. So honestly, it's like a thing I have. I don't really know how to use it. It's like whatever. Oh, actually, there's one more thing I just remembered. Jeez, my brain, my effing brain. So I'll be putting this out probably tomorrow. Um, it's not a video. It's just a playlist I made. But it was basically because there's no E3 this year. I took a bunch of like different stuff and just like put it in a playlist to be like a celebration of E3. So it's got like archival footage of like the showroom floor. I tried to get like I try to get like something from like every year, but then like I realized it was kind of like too like it's kind of like too big of a thing. The scope was like too big to like get in like one playlist. So it's like it's basically like like there's like every year from like the first year of E3 to the last year. Oh, not the last year. Well, yeah, to like the last year that was in person. It's got like stuff from E3, and then some of it's like show floor, some of it's archival footage, some of it's like people talking about the press conferences or whatever. It's mostly about like the press conferences and like people's reactions to them though, because I feel like that's like the main thrust. And then you have like stuff that was like there, but like people didn't usually talk about stuff that was there until after the fact, or like depending on like what year it was. Like you would have read it in like a magazine article, and it would have been like about a behind closed doors demo. But because it was behind the closed doors demo, it's like most people would have probably seen it. So it's like I just tried to like cover a bunch of different aspects. But then like I ended up I feel like focusing like overly on like PlayStation stuff. So it's like in like the middle section, like not the whole thing, but like it's like 95 to whenever it's just like archival stuff. And like PS2, I'd say PS2 era is like very focused on PlayStation, and then PS3, Wii 360 is more about like the announcing of like those consoles when they came out. Because now we can like look back, I would say collectively, and say that was not that great of a console era. It's like not that great, honestly. In my opinion, I look back at it and just like ugh, just brown military shooters and bad Unreal Engine 3 games, and the camera controls were like better than the last, like they're better than like the previous generation, but they weren't still like refined like they were in the PS4 and Xbox One era. It's like you still had like so many issues as far as games with polish, and just like it was an era of refinement, but like stuff was just still kind of ugh, and just like overall, it hasn't aged well. Like graphic fidelity of that time is just not great. But yeah, PS4, Xbox One, was the Wii U that era. That stuff is it's probably just like mostly people just like reacting to stuff that was shown at the different conferences. I guess that's the thing. It's like collectively you look at it and it's like it's like a span of time from like first E3 to like last in person E3, but it's got like show floor, PlayStation, press conferences, games, and it's like I would say that would be like the takeaway, and then like people's reactions or just like their enthusiasm and euphoria of like being there and just like covering it. Though in one case I did have like a video of like Adam Sessler from Rev 3 Games where he's like talking about it, of just like or not talking about it, but it's like you see him like on the first day, and then like it goes from like the first day to the last day, and like see how just like taxing it was on him to like be be there with like the loud sounds and just like talking over it and just like what it does to you. So it's like yeah, it's like also like it's not just like a good fun time. It is just like for people that like do it as a job that are like game press. It's like it can be a bit like overwhelming and just like wear you out. But oh, there's also like a no clip thing of it of like a behind this. It's like a cool like documentary that like is and it's like at the end too. So it's kind of like you get through that. I mean, it's a long playlist, so it's like if you get to the end and you get to like the no clip video, it's a good summation of like what it turned into before it kind of imploded and died, because that's kind of what happened, right? Is like PlayStation stopped going, and then Microsoft was like there, but they're also like across the street or something at like the one of the venues close by. It just changed for the worse, and it's like we'll see what happens. But it's kind of yeah, it's kind of sad. Like E3 has always been like one of the. I mean, it was really weird actually. As much as I want to say like E3 is like one of the things I look forward to every year, like going back and like watching it. Though I guess I kind of felt this way like the last few years, or I kind of feel this way also at the Game Awards. It's like it is like a weird like when you're like looking at it in hindsight and like for like a long span of time of like watching video after video. It's just like it is just like a weird like commercial worship or something. It's just like a weird like it's such like a weird insight into like society, like that like specific sliver of society of just like these are just like commercial products by these giant corporations to make money. And it's just that's like one weird part of like I was like watching like as I was like watching more and more and more, just like oh, this is like a weird like like cult of capitalism and commerce and consumerism, but just like specifically video games and just like I mean I guess that's yeah that's just more of a that's more of a critique and commentary on society, I guess, because like you could say that about like any like consumer show like that. I mean, it has the word consumer in it, like CES or something. It's like all about gadgets and tech, but ultimately it's just to like sell it and like make money for corporations. But whatever. That's 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 the playlist that I will be putting up tomorrow. Well, the playlist is made. I'm not sure if I have it set to unlisted because I wanted some like feedback from other people, but they never gave me feedback, so whatever. So I'm just gonna like put it out the way it is. I put in like the 1 year, or not the 1 year, but like the year. There's like a year I had it for G4 where there's like coverage of like each I want to say each platform holder, and I was gonna do it for like I didn't want to do like any more because I felt like that was like enough of the G4 experience, because like I didn't want to like fill the playlist too much with like any one specific thing. Like after I like started, like after I had finished making it, I was like looking at it, I was like, this is actually pretty good in the breadth and variety. I mean, there might be a bit of like more stuff than others like at certain parts, but like I'd say overall, because like there's some crap, I can't think of the channel, Victor Lucas's channel. Like there's a lot of stuff at the top, or the reviews on the run, or extended play, or not extended play, but oh, the Victor Lucas show. I can't think of it now, but like that is like there's a lot at the top. There's some extended play, X play stuff after that, but then there's like a bunch of archival footage. But then there's like I'd say after that there's like G4, Giant Bomb, Ref 3 Games, no clip. But yeah, it's whatever. I just after a certain while, or like not wow, I talk so weird. After a while, or like, or not after a while, but like as I was like compiling it, I was like, if I could just keep it like even, that'd be cool, and then just like not have like a whole bunch of things from like one source, because like I could just like did a playlist and had it been like all GameSpot videos, and like that's that'd been. I mean, it could have did that, but then it's like kind of like, it's just looking at old coverage of games that are old. But I don't know. I might go back and do that again, or I might like make another playlist where it's all about like old games of like the years past of like E3 or something. But anywho, that's going up tomorrow, and I'm going to end this now. So I just realized I forgot to mention it, so I was like, oh no, I should have put that at the beginning, and I don't edit these, so I'm not going to go back and edit at the beginning. It's at the end, whatever. Well, you've made it to like an hour of time taken, so congratulations. But like I was saying, all the links to all this stuff are in the bottom. Um, my Facebook page, I really need to update that. I kind of have like an identity crisis with it, because it's like I feel weird like just constantly plugging myself, so I kind of like feel weird using it in that capacity. But then if I go back to YouTube Creator Academy, it's probably going to be like, you need to use external sources or sites to drive traffic to your channel. So I guess I'll get on that. Whatever. So yeah, that is it for Channel Taken for May 2022, 2022, however you say it, whatever. So until you see or hear from me again, feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, favorite, share with your friends or not. That's cool too. Uh, And I think I already said until you hear from me again. But yeah, until you hear from me again, thanks for watching. And I'm now signing off.